In this chilling environment, male guards exploit the power dynamics, orchestrating private encounters with the female prisoners under the guise of exchanges. Despite the guards' intentions to unsettle them, the women, resilient as ever, resist. Among these prisoners, Jill stands out, not just because of her innocence, but due to her striking beauty. Wrongfully imprisoned during a ski trip after police claimed to find toxic powder in her bag, an accusation she vehemently denied, Jill was ignored by all, including the guards who eyed her with envy. Inside, the prison's top dog, always on the lookout, noticed Jill and proposed special privileges in exchange for compliance. Yet Jill stood firm, holding out hope that her boyfriend would rescue her soon. However, events quickly spiraled out of control. The leader, backed by others, suddenly, one woman suffered a relapse and was killed with an empty syringe due to knowledge of Dayanyu's illegal deeds. Jill witnessed this from the shadows. The murder aimed to protect Dayanyu and their secrets. A task force soon suspected foul play instead of suicide. Jill, working nearby, became the first point of inquiry. Aware of the risks of disclosure in an anarchic environment, she remained silent, knowing the threats she'd face upon discovery. Sidestepping this danger, Jill soon witnessed another incident where a showgirl was punished by a group for disobedience. This time, her presence was noticed, directly attracting their hostility. They planned to privately use similar tactics against Jill. Meanwhile, the task force intensified their interactions with Jill, provoking prison authorities to take notice. Jill found herself ensnared in schemes beyond her control, feeling a sense of betrayal as she learned her imprisonment was orchestrated by her boyfriend. With rage mounting, any chance of mercy diminished as hierarchy feud tensions peaked. Jill, however, prepared herself for the impending conflicts, knowing strength was her ally in this grim reality. Underestimated and falsely imprisoned, Jill found herself in a dire predicament. Her boyfriend's betrayal hit hard. After a prison altercation led to solitary confinement where she barely survived, her spirit was unbroken. Once free, Jill felt empowered, realizing she must prepare for a drawn-out battle. An investigation team began examining her situation, catching the attention of the warden who feared exposure. He urged the dominant inmates to act against Jill, worsening her circumstances through deceitful setups. The revelation of her boyfriend's role in planting evidence in her bag was a bitter pill to swallow, contradicting her initial hopes for rescue. Though skeptical, the precision of the exposé left no room for doubt. As Jill strategized for her survival within the prison's treacherous environment, she faced mounting challenges, from the guards' misconduct to orchestrated traps by her fellow inmates, all while grappling with the sting of betrayal. Nonetheless, the truth that had initially escaped her was starting to emerge, leaving Jill more resolved than ever to fight for her freedom and clear her name. In this tumultuous period, Jill faced extreme adversities and injustices. During meals, Jill endured provocation from the leader's cronies, leading to a breakdown that landed her back in solitary confinement. Here, the prison guards subjected her to harsh torture. Despite a ban from the captain on any exercise, Jill continued training, preparing herself for potential future challenges. A male guard with a marked face made an appearance, offering her a nutritious meal, symbolizing a brief respite. But when the news spread, the superintendent intervened, chastising the warden and demanding Jill's release. Jill narrowly avoided catastrophe, yet misfortune lingered. While recuperating, Jill mourned the loss of her closest friend brought in, who quickly succumbed. It was evident this was the machination of the leader and her associates. Furious, Jill's heart swelled with anger at the injustice. Witnessing her innocent comrade's wrongful punishment only fueled her fury further, and Jill resolved to confront her oppressors. Overwhelmed by hatred, he felt consumed by evil. When the rope was knotted around him, a surge of vengeful anger quickly filled his core. Coinciding with a brief respite, Jill prepared to demonstrate his prowess, and the bout was so fierce it was tough to discern the victim. When the guards intervened, they had no choice but to shift their battleground. At that moment, Jill had to risk it all on a single effort. But the experienced boss lady was not just any ordinary foe. In a head-to-head clash, Jill stood no chance against her. Yet, as they say, crossing swords ends in defeat, and with her counter, the demon was subdued. Jill conceded to the investigative team, ready to fully cooperate but demanded his shameless boyfriend face consequences. Meanwhile, the boyfriend was enjoying liberty. While dealing with a blonde woman who expressed interest, the police arrived and arrested him. Now it was his turn to face imprisonment. Ultimately, the warden's misdeeds were fully unveiled, and the prison greeted a renewal. Jill finally won her freedom,